KARE 11 Investigates uncovered one of Minnesota's largest and most well-known addiction treatment providers is in a fight for survival. The state and federal government accused NUWAY of providing illegal kickbacks to clients. Here's AJ Legault with the latest findings in his investigation, Recovery, Inc.
Headquartered in the Twin Cities, NUWAY started in the 1960s as one of the nation's very first halfway houses. It now has addiction treatment centers across the state, serving roughly 1,100 clients a day.
I was in intensive outpatient treatment.
Rich LaFortune is a former client. While attending treatment at NUWAY, Rich lived in a sober home paid for by NUWAY.
If I can't have a place to safely lay my head at night, how am I going to get sober?
So for you, having that shelter, having NUWAY cover your housing while you were an outpatient was crucial?
Yes. I was otherwise homeless.
But that arrangement, paying for clients' housing while also billing their taxpayer-funded Medicaid insurance for treatment, has NUWAY's future very much in doubt.
They're looking for something.
This federal raid last summer on a different treatment provider is an example of why. In the wake of a KARE 11 investigation into alleged fraudulent Medicaid billing, the FBI raided Evergreen Recovery in St. Paul. One of the charges, illegal kickbacks in the form of providing free housing in exchange for attendance at treatment services.
What message did the Evergreen raid send to the broader recovery community?
Panic, absolute panic.
David Glazer is NUWAY's attorney. The panic he describes is because Evergreen and NUWAY are not the only Minnesota treatment centers that pay for clients' housing. Some ended the practice, but NUWAY has not stopped.
Is this a hill NUWAY is going to die on?
Yes, because NUWAY feels really committed to making sure patients can get housing.
It's not a new dispute. KARE 11 discovered NUWAY was notified back in 2022 that they were under a still ongoing federal civil fraud investigation, suspected of using client housing as kickbacks. The Minnesota Department of Human Services also began raising concerns last February, threatening to cut off NUWAY's funding, but has repeatedly delayed action. This letter, dated in December, is their latest correspondence. DHS cites credible allegations of fraud, which include improperly induced services through the use of illegal kickbacks. Pending another delay, DHS says it's stopping all Medicaid payments to NUWAY effective in a few weeks, February 21st. But there's something unusual about that threat.
The Department of Human Services knew exactly what was going on.
This wasn't a secret and DHS knew about it for years?
No, this definitely wasn't a secret.
That is an undeniable fact.
Safe, supportive housing is crucial to long-term recovery.
NUWAY made no secret they paid for clients' housing. They call it their RISE model and publicly tout providing resident support. The University of Minnesota studied NUWAY's RISE model and found improved outcomes. In a 2019 application for the DHS Commissioner Circle of Excellence Award, NUWAY directly told the DHS Commissioner in writing they offered housing contingent upon weekly treatment compliance.
After knowing about the housing subsidies for years, why is the government taking action now?
That's an excellent question. I can't answer that.
We asked DHS for an interview about the kickback claims. It was declined. In an emailed statement, DHS confirmed there's an ongoing investigation but said they cannot disclose any additional information.
So why is there so much concern about housing payments? The federal case against Evergreen Recovery provides some insight.
They got rich through fraud, kickbacks, overbilling.
Prosecutors from the U.S. Attorney's Office sat down with KARE 11 in December to discuss the Evergreen Recovery indictments.
Is there a connection between overbilling and what the DOJ calls this housing kickback scheme?
Absolutely. Kickbacks are presumptively involve fraudulent overbilling. They're an incentive to overbill.
Joe Thompson is the chief of the U.S. Attorney's Fraud and Public Corruption Section. He said he could not comment specifically on any case beyond Evergreen, but offered this general assessment.
A provider that's paying kickbacks is probably overbilling to pay the cost of those kickbacks.
Is overbilling funding NUWAY's housing payments? Their lawyer says no, but KARE 11 has been investigating NUWAY's billing practices for a year, and what we uncovered has clients responding like this.
Oh, that was happening? Holy
As part of our investigation, we uncovered internal NUWAY records where employees claimed they were committing tens of millions of dollars worth of billing fraud. That part of our investigation tonight at 10. With Recovery Inc., I'm AJ Legault.